Explanation of the word Bhagavat. Sutra. Bhagavat. Sastra. Now let us explain this word. Bhagavat. Why is he called Bhagavat? Question mark. 1. In the word Bhagavat, bhaga means quality and vat indicates its possession. The one who possesses qualities. Single quote. 2. Furthermore, bhaga means to analyze and vat indicates skill. Skillful in analyzing the general and specific characteristics of the dharmas, he is called Bhagavat. 3. Furthermore, bhaga means glory and vat indicates its possession. Thus this word means the one who possesses glory. No one else has as much glory as the Buddha. The noble Chakravartin kings, Indra, Brahma, the Lokapalas, are inferior to the Buddha. What then could be said of ordinary men? Why? The noble Chakravartin kings are fettered by bonds, the Buddha has broken the bonds. The noble Chakravartin kings are sunk in the mire of birth, old age, sickness and death, the Buddha has transcended them. The noble Chakravartin kings are enslaved by their passions, the Buddha has eliminated them. The noble Chakravartin kings dwell in the womb of the calamities of the human jungle, the Buddha has escaped from it. The noble Chakravartin kings dwell in the shadows of ignorance, the Buddha lives in the supreme light. The noble Chakravartin kings often reign over the 4 continents. The Buddha reigns over countless universes. The Chakravartin kings have mastery over wealth, the Buddha has mastery over mind. The noble Chakravartin kings covet heavenly bliss, the Buddha covets nothing, having reached the well-being of the summit of existence. The Chakravartin kings seek their happiness from others. The Buddha rejoices in his own heart. This is why the Buddha surpasses the noble Chakravartin kings. He also surpasses all the other beings, Indra, Brahma, the Lokapalas, who are even inferior to the noble Chakravartin kings. 4. Furthermore, bhaga means to crush and vat indicates the ability. The person who can crush desire, hatred and stupidity is called Bhagavat. Question. The arhats and pratyekabuddhas are also able to destroy attachment, hatred and stupidity. In what do they differ from the Buddha? Answer. Although the arhats and pratyekabuddhas have destroyed this threefold poison, they have not entirely eliminated the latent predispositions of poison. It is like perfume in a vase, when the perfume is removed, a trace of the odor remains. Or it is like kindling, the fire burns, the smoke disappears, but the ash remains, for the strength of the fire is decreased. On the other hand, in the Buddha, the threefold poison is eliminated without residue. It is like at the end of a kalpa when the fire burns Mount Meru and the entire earth. These disappear completely without leaving smoke or charcoal. Opening square bracket. See, for example, the traces of hatred in Sariputra, the traces of attachment in Nanto, Nanda, and the traces of pride in Paitingkaya Poso, Pilandavatsa. They are like a man in fetters who, as soon as he is released, begins to walk unceasingly. At that time, the Buddha, having come out of samadhi, set out to walk followed by Loheulo. The Buddha asked Rahula, "Why are you so thin?" Rahula replied with this stanza. Whoever eats oil gains strength. Whoever eats butter gains good color. Whoever eats bad vegetables has neither color nor strength. The Venerable Buddha should know that. The Buddha asked Rahula, "Who is the elder in this community?" Rahula replied, "It is the Upadhyaya Sariputra." The Buddha said, "Sariputra eats impure food." Then Sariputra, who had returned and had heard these words, immediately spit up his food and made the following oath. Starting from today. Opening square bracket. I will no longer accept any invitations. Then King Possuni in the Ayusmart Shuttata went to Sariputra and said, "The Buddha does not accept invitations without reason. Venerable Sariputra also does not accept invitations. How will we lay people acquire the great purity of faith?" Sariputra answered, "My great teacher, the Buddha, has said that I eat impure food. Henceforth I will accept no further invitations." Then Prasenajit approached the Buddha and said to him, The Buddha never accepts any invitations, and neither does Sariputra. How will our minds gain great faith? We would like the Buddha to order Sariputra to accept invitations again. The Buddha replied, "Decisions are firm with Sariputra. It is not possible to change them." Then, to explain Sariputra's stubbornness, the Buddha cited this episode from one of his previous lives. Once there was a king who was bitten by a poisonous snake. As the king was going to die, doctors were called to cure the poison. The physicians said, the snake itself must swallow the very last drop of poison that it has injected. Then, with the help of magical formulas, the doctors brought to the king the snake that had bitten him, and gathering kindling, they started a fire and ordered the snake to swallow its poison or else to enter into the fire. The snake said to itself, "How could I swallow the poison that previously I spit out? I prefer death." Thinking this, it persisted in its decision and entered into the fire. This snake was none other than Sariputra. From age to age, his decisions have been firm and unchangeable. In his turn, the Ayusmart Pilinka Poso, Pilandavatsa, always suffered from eye disease. To beg his food, he usually crossed the Ganges River. Having come to the edge of the river, he snapped his fingers and said to the Ganges, Vatsala, stop flowing. Then he crossed the river between two walls of water, and went to beg his food. The goddess of the Ganges went to the Buddha and said, "The disciple of the Buddha, Pilandavatsa, always insults me by saying, Vatsala, stop flowing." The Buddha said to Pilandavatsa, "Apologize for your fault to the goddess of the Ganges." Then Pilandavatsa, joining his palms, said to the goddess of the Ganges, "Vatsala, little slave, don't be angry. I confess my fault." Then the great assembly made fun of him. "Why do you still insult her by calling her Vatsala, when you are confessing your fault?" The Buddha said to the goddess of the Ganges, "Do you see this Pilandavatsa who, with his palms joined, confesses his fault to you? He apologizes, and it is not out of malice that he calls you this. Know that it is not his fault. For 500 years this man has always taken birth in a Brahmin family. Always haughty, he has reviled other men. He has retained the language he formerly used, but his heart is free of scorn." Single quote. Thus, although they have destroyed the fetters, the arhats still keep the traces. But the Buddha Bhagavats, whether their arms are slashed with a knife or whether they are anointed with sandalwood oil, do not blink an eye, and their heart is as free of hatred as it is of love, for they have definitively effaced all traces of the passions. The Brahmani Chancho with her wooden disc slandered the Buddha, and in the midst of the great assembly said to